Excellencies, heads of state and government, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion of our 24th Comesa Summit. The communique just presented by the Secretary General, Our Excellency Gileshe Mbundu Kapwepwe, is the culmination of our fruitful deliberations built upon the deliverables of the meetings of the Council of Ministers, the Ministers of Foreign Affairs, and the Business Council Forum, including the diligent growth. Guided by this theme, we will move swiftly to digitize every aspect of our trade facilitation instruments. We invite the private sector to join us through private-public partnerships to develop world-class physical and digital infrastructure to modernize transport corridors, build regional data centers, and investing in future cloud services. This digital corridor must not end, as I said earlier, in capital cities. It must extend to every corner of our region, connecting the smallholder farmer in a rural village to the bustling urban market. The launch of the digital retail payment platform will link farmers directly with consumers and markets, ensuring fair access and transparency. With the support of my fellow members of the Bureau of the Authority, I assure you of my readiness and commitment to continue implementing the Comesa Regional Integration Agenda. Together with the Vice Chairperson and the Rapporteur, I will maintain the momentum necessary to ensure that our organization continues to deliver on its mandate and to meet the expectations of our member states, business community, and citizens. I urge our Council of Ministers and Ministers of Foreign Affairs to accelerate the implementation of the decisions we have made so as to guarantee the free movement of people, to facilitate seamless trade and investment flows, and to sustain our collective commitment to peace, security, and stability in our region. We have also committed to addressing the concerns raised by the Comesa Business Council, as articulated in the declaration we have just adopted. I want to commit to our business community that we have listened carefully to your issues and your concerns, and it will form the basis of what I intend to do in the next 1 year. We shall also ensure that the Comesa EAC SADC tripartite trade area agreement that has become operational will continue into the future with broader engagement. To that end, we will strengthen synergies between the Comesa Free Trade Area, the tripartite free trade area, and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. As we do so, we must remember that the free movement of goods and services must be matched by the free movement of people and enhance physical connectivity across the region and the entire continent. Kenya has taken the progressive step by becoming visa-free for most Africans, reaffirming our enduring commitment to regional integration and unity. By opening our borders, we aim to facilitate the free movement of people, free movement of goods, and services across the continent, a cornerstone of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and Comesa's vision for shared prosperity. This policy underscores Kenya's belief that our collective strength lies in connectivity, collaboration, and the seamless exchange of ideas, talent, and trade among all our nations. Excellencies, the coming year also coincides with our engagement, actually the coming month, in fact in November, coincides with our engagement as regional economic communities and as the Africa Union with the European Union, under the capable leadership of our brother, His Excellency Lorenzo, President of the Republic of Angola, that we will be meeting in Angola next month. The Bureau will ensure that Comesa is very well represented in these engagements, as this is the critical moment for maintaining a strong and strategic partnership with the European Union. I also wish to reaffirm my commitment to consolidating the excellent work accomplished by my brother, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi and Rapporteur of the Comesa Authority this year. We will give renewed focus to internal resource mobilization, including through the mechanisms such as the market levy, which is already enshrined in the Comesa Treaty. And as part of our collective commitment to deepen regional integration and accelerate investment-led growth, I am pleased to announce that Kenya, as the incoming chair of Comesa, in collaboration with the Comesa Regional Investment Authority and the Kenya Investment Authority, will host the Comesa Investment Forum on the margins of the Kenya International Investment Conference in March 2026, here in Nairobi. The forum will serve as a premier platform to showcase investment opportunities across Comesa member states, promote intra-regional trade and investment partnerships, and strengthen collaboration between governments, the private sector, and development institutions. Allow me once again to express my appreciation to the outgoing Bureau for its leadership and dedication. I also warmly welcome my new Vice Chairperson, whose experience and insights will be invaluable in steering the Bureau's work forward. I encourage the Secretariat to continue delivering to the high expectations that have brought Comesa this far. Ours is not only the largest regional economic community in Africa, but also the only one with multiple specialized agencies and institutions. I will allocate sufficient time for regular consultations with the Secretariat under the able leadership of our Excellency, Madam Kapwepwe, to facilitate the effective implementation of our strategic plan. I look forward to the Council of Ministers' consideration of the forthcoming 2026-2030 midterm strategic plan in December this year, with a view to its finalization and formal launch at the 25th Summit in Harare in 2026. Finally, Excellencies, I once again express my very deep appreciation and that of the government and people of Kenya to each and every one of you for your time and participation in this summit. And I wish you all safe travels back to your respective countries. And for those staying for a little longer, enjoy, take time, suffer all that Nairobi and Kenya has to offer. Let me say two final things. That our strategic focus will be, number one, to see how to enhance our intra-African trade from 14% to at least 50%. We know it is possible, and there are two strategic interventions that we have to carry out. See how to eliminate visa restrictions that impede movement of people, delay movement of ideas, and undermine movement of talent. And number two, see how to eliminate both tariff and non-tariff barriers that have made our borders barriers instead of bridges, and see how we can escalate our intra-Africa trade. Our competitors, our collaborators, other regions are speaking in 60%, 70% of intra-regional trade. We are at 14%. Number two, we must stop being exporters of raw materials. Africa must process, we must value add all the agricultural products, all the natural resources we have, and all the products that we produce in this continent. By processing and adding value, we not only create jobs, we create value, we create wealth, and that way we keep most of that wealth in our continent and make meaning of the markets that we have negotiated in Europe, in America, and in our continent specifically. As the world becomes much more difficult, it is our responsibility to create market here in Africa. And that market of 1.4 billion people is what we need to unlock through intra-Africa trade. If we can enhance trade from 14% to 50%, we will triple the market available for African goods and services. And finally, let me say that we must believe in ourselves. Even as we seek to reform the international financial architecture, even as we seek to have greater voice in IMF and World Bank, we must equally believe in ourselves and build African institutions. I said earlier, Trade and Development Bank is a product of Comesa. This is the bank we started as Comesa. I can confirm to you from the Kenyan perspective that Trade and Development Bank is an asset to the government of Kenya. They understand our priorities. They know what we need. They understand the African context. They do not assess risks that are not reasonable. They treat us with decency and with decorum because they are our African institution. And so it is with Afrexim Bank. And so it is with the insurance agency. And so it is with SEBRI. And so it is with all the other African institutions. We must put our money in these institutions. We must put our capital in these institutions. They are the institutions that will help us grow this continent, finance our small micro enterprises, and finance our manufacturing and our industrialization. So it is my pledge and request to fellow heads of state for us to put capital into these institutions, even as we seek to reform the international financial architecture. The African financial institutions need us to invest in them, believe in them, and give them the status they need so that they can serve our continent. Finally, our agenda has the final item, and the final item in the agenda of this meeting is lunch. And lunch is exciting, it is important, but it is also mandatory. For those of you who may be tempted to skip lunch and rush to the airport, let me tell you, the airport will only be open after lunch. It is now my great honor and pleasure to declare the 24th Comesa Heads of State and Government Summit officially closed. I thank you.